how are you doing today? My name is Louis Lee, and I'd like to introduce the Eubanks Conservatory of Music and Arts guitar program. Welcome back to the guitar instruction from Eubanks Conservatory of Music and Arts, and this is lesson number 8. Okay, so we're going to stay focused on the exercise. This time we're going to use, we did 3 fingers on the last one, and this time we're going to do 2 fingers. No, we did 2 on the last one. I made a mistake here. We're going to do 1 on this one. Okay, so I stayed to be correct. We're going to just do 1 finger note on. We're going to pluck the first fret once, and then we're going to count and not play for 3 and 4, 2, 3, and 4, 4 times, and then go to the next string, all 6 strings up and down. So let me demonstrate as I normally do. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. A quarter note. 1, rest, rest, rest. 1, rest, rest, rest. 1, rest, 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 rest. Now notice I'm not doing this. 2, 3. That's a whole note. No, you want a quarter note because normally we would be playing 1, 2, 3. So we're not playing this now. We're playing just 1 note. 3, 4. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4. Now, I wanted to stop because as I was playing, I was thinking about some more information to give you. What I am doing is I'm releasing, I'm not holding it. I find a lot of times students will ask me, how do you stop the sound? Well, if you notice, I'm not lifting my finger off the string. I'm just not applying any pressure. So let me demonstrate what I'm referencing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pressure. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4. Also, what I am trying to be conscious of is how can I make it sound musical? That's very important, especially when you're practicing, because practicing becomes habitual. It becomes a habit. It's what you have. So when you're playing, you do not think about it because you've already practiced. And if you practice correctly with all the information that we're giving you, then when you're performing, it just comes naturally. So what I mean by that is when I got to the lower strings, you have to press harder. And I was thinking, this is the D string. I was listening to myself to make sure that it sounds musical, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, stop. Just one note. One note. And I remember reading when Miles Davis, another idol of mine. Never got a chance to meet him, but I studied his music. Miles could play one note. When he first started off, he played a lot of 16th and 32nd notes. But as he got older, he just had one note and you could hear it. And it was the placement of that note that it wasn't easy. That's why he was Miles, and so you can learn from that one note. So to get back to what I'm referring to is one note, just make it sound 2, pretty, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, go on to the next string, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I metronome stop with me. So, and that's a good sign. You must have. Okay, so that concludes this portion of the finger exercise. Remember, study hard, have fun, and I look forward to seeing you for the next segment, which will be the theory. Welcome back. This is the theory part for lesson number 8. And what we're going to do is, I have to congratulate all of you. You've done well, and now we're going to get into some reading. That's what that means, okay? So, it's on page 21, and you'll notice this has the guitar neck and the notes that will be covered. So that's what we have here. And what I did was, this right here is a guitar neck. And if you know the nomenclature, this right here is your nut. These are your open strings, E, A, D, G, B, D, E. And these are the notes that we're going to use. And this is the scale, this is a staff. Now remember I was telling you about a staff consists of 5 lines and 4 spaces. Remember that one? Okay. These are the ledger lines. You'll see this is going into the bass. Not to get too technical. These are your ledger lines. Okay, we haven't gone above, but we've gone below the staff. This is the lowest note on the guitar, the E. And it's showing you that right here. That's your lowest note, this note here. That's the lowest note on the guitar. And that's what it looks like. This note right here is your lowest, okay? And so we have our clef, treble clef. We have our time signature, 4/4, 4 counts per measure. Every quarter note gets 1 count. And we have our notes. We have our bars, which divides a staff into measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's tell you how many measures you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 measures. I want to make sure because I'm looking from behind. Okay, and so this is now, this right here is a tablature as well. This right here is substandard. And I put this here because I would say, and this is just my estimation, about 80%, which is pretty high, guitar players cannot read. But they can read the tab. Okay, they can read that because they have to, if not, they have to use their ear. So this is the tab. This is not the standardized tablature. This tablature here is standardized. This has been around for decades. You have to have some place to show you where your fingers belong. Every instrument has a tablature. Every instrument, okay? Let me show you very quickly. In the book, I put this in here. This is a piano tablature. It's usually not this large. It's much smaller, but it shows you where to place the fingers. Okay, now they have other tablatures for piano that are substandard too, but this is standard. So if they wanted you to play a certain chord, they'll just have black notes, a little black spot, you'll know where to place your fingers. There has to be some sort of form of indication so that you know where your fingers belong, because if not, then you would not know. But this doesn't tell you much. It has numbers. You can figure it out, some guys, but it doesn't tell you the duration, how long you hold it. It doesn't tell you very much. It's limited in its scope of information, but this is what a lot of guitar players read. They don't teach this in college or universities or conservatories because it's not taught, because it's just not. So if someone's main instrument is the piano and they're studying orchestration or arranging, they know nothing about this. Guitar players do because this is what we know. But this is substandard. So this is for information, so you know. This right here is just an illustration of where the notes are, because this is, it's just a guitar neck. And it's showing where the notes are. It's just information. It's not something that you would see because it's too cumbersome to put on the music. I mean, it wouldn't fit. So, but it's just where I wanted you to see where the notes are, where they relate to the notes on the staff where we read. Okay? So for that information, put that here. Next, we're going to move on to this right here. Notes on the first string. These are the notes. Okay, now, remember this is your E, your G. Your E, your F, and your G. Okay, I'm looking at it from behind, okay? So your E, F, and your G. Now, we covered Every Good Boy Does Fine. But we didn't get into the G. We didn't cover that. But remember, music is logical. So you know if this is F, what precedes F? G. You know if this is F, the next note would have to be G. Because if this is E and that's F, it would continue on in that sequential order. So you have to use some logic, but I'm trying to explain this to you so you understand. So that's what we're going to cover in this lesson. You're going to start reading in this lesson. So what we have here, what I've written, notes will be placed on the tablature are indicated where the fingers are placed. So these are telling you where you place your finger. This is an oval, which means it's open. Open would be this. Okay, so that's open. Next would be the F, would be the first. It's telling you this right here is the nut. Remember, we know the guitar nomenclature. This is the top of the guitar. Now, look at how this is facing. It's facing upward. This is the guitar. The same way. This is the nut. These are the 6 strings. And so you're looking exactly at the guitar, but it's just the upper part of the guitar. You don't see the headstock. It's the headstock. If I put one there, then it's, oh yeah, that's a guitar. And it doesn't have the rest of the neck. But if you saw that in the body, then you would know, but that would be too much. So they don't put that. They just put this, just the first 4 frets. Some may go 8 frets if it goes further down, or it doesn't go all 24 frets, or it'll say start at a certain fret. Okay, but anyway, so this is telling you, this is your E open. It's telling you that the next fret on the first string, these are your strings. It's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the first string. Okay, and so this is your F, and then your G. And that explains that. Okay, great. Now, next what we have is reading. That's why I said it's important to know what whole notes are, half notes, and quarter notes. Now we're into some reading. You want to know, because when you look at this, you want to know what this means. This is the treble clef. Always look at the clef, because it could have been a bass clef. So that means that's not the clef that you read in. Remember, I showed you what those clefs look like. It could have been an alto clef. You want to know that. Don't just pick up the music and start looking at it, because you'll be playing the wrong notes thinking it's written in a different clef, so the notes change, okay? So anyway, this is the clef that we read in. This is 4/4 time. So we're going to do this. I'm going to demonstrate what it sounds like. You're going to look at your sheet. I'll give yourself a free count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm playing the beat 1. This is 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now reading is something that I do very well. I just study well, because I can put it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, great. Now, that's the first staff. We're going to go to the second staff. That's the F. We're going to play that real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And the sake of time, I'm just going to finish this. I'm going to go to the third staff. 3, the G. Now notice how when I play this, I keep my fingers anchored. Even though I'm not playing the F, I don't want to do this. It doesn't look good, and it's going to take, when I pull this out, I'm using a muscle, and I'm taking away from the execution and being able to resonate this note here. I want to make sure I'm applying it, and this note is down, so if I need it, you want to keep your fingers close to the fingerboard, not where it's out like this. So again, the third staff, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. We're going to go on to the fourth staff, but it's a mixture of all 3 notes. Here we go. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So now study this, have fun, and that concludes this portion of the theory. Welcome back to guitar lesson number 8, and this is the fun part. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue with the chords that we've been learning. Now on this lesson, we've incorporated, because we've covered a lot of chords. So this time we have, and I've numbered the chords. We have the G7th, we have the F major 7th, which is a new one, and also the G major 7th, which is new. The rest of the chords preceding that, the E7th, the E major 7th, the E minor, C7, D major, we've covered those chords. So we're going to incorporate some new chords and the old chords at the same time. So, having said that, we're going to set our metronome to 60 beats per minute. That's the standard. We're going to start that. And the first chord that we're going to play here is the G7. And that's a real common chord that you hear a lot, that G7. And it sounds like this. 4, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm making it like this. And my producer asked me to tell you the fingering. So I'm using the first finger, the first fret, the first string, the second finger, 1, 2, 3, 4, on the 5th string, the 2nd fret, the 5th string, and the 2nd fret, and the 3rd finger on the 6th string and the 3rd fret. So the frets I'm using is 1, 2, 3, and the strings I'm using is, the frets are 1, 2, 3, the first 3 frets, and the strings are 1, 5, and 6. And it comes like this. 4, 2, that's that G7. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, okay, 3, 4. Now the next chord is the F major 7. And again, I'm in the first 3 frets. I'm using the first finger, and this is a bar chord. This is our first bar chord. So I'm barring the first 2 strings. I'm using my first finger to make it as a bar. So this is a bar that I'm using. And it's called a bar chord, and I'm using this, and that's the term that we use. My first 2 strings, I'm using the press on my first finger. The second finger is on the 3rd string, that D string, and then the 2nd fret. And my 3rd finger is on the 4th string, and it's on the 4th, the 3rd fret. The 4th string, the 3rd fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, and 4. Now, what we have here is a combination. So we're going to run through all of the chords that we have so far and what's on the sheet. What I am going to do is play each chord 1 measure each. And we all know what a measure is. Okay, a measure is 4 counts. 1, okay, and it divides the staff into bars. Okay, and the bars divide the staff into measures, excuse me. So we're going to play 1 chord per measure. 3, I've covered it up, excuse me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. That didn't sound right. 2, 3, 4. Now, sometimes that happens. These chords are when you have to practice. And sometimes you're in the studio, you might make a mistake. And I made a mistake, so let me clean that one up. I'm going to play those last 2 chords again. The D major to D7, 3, 4. It is 3. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay? So now, those are the chords. What you want is, we have a lot of chords that we've covered so far. We have a few that we have not. but there are 15 chords all together on the sheet. And what we've just done is we've covered 10 so far. This is lesson number 8, and we've covered 10 chords. Play with these chords, have fun, and I'll see you at the next lesson. Thank you so much for being a part of this session.